Hey everyone, Glimpse here. First thing right here, you can see Ryo Friendship 10. Alright, now here's a character that I've been meaning to get into. I've made slight talking videos about them in the past. Right here, Keqing, 80 out of 90 now. Got our weapon up to 80 out of 80. We don't have the resources to get it to 90, especially with all the new characters coming. So, we're gonna say, just know that she can be slightly better. Let me just turn this volume down. Okay. Know that she can be slightly better, but this is gonna be most of the way achieved. So right here, this is kind of a hybrid build. Like you'd probably want to go 4-piece Thundering Fury, which we're going to try later in the video too. So I'm going to take some Asino's artifacts, give it a shot. But for now, this is just the set that I'm going to keep her with. C6, this is why we're checking her out today. 8, 10, 10, just because these are technically 7, but constellation wise. And here's the ratio right now. So we're at 61, 228. Crit rate's a little bit low, but if you look right here at this, so Skyward Sword, her ult, whenever you use her ult, crit rate increased by 15%, energy recharge increased by 15% for 8 seconds. So that's something worth looking at. Now, I've heard that one of our best teams is going to be focused on like Aggravate, but let's see what I have. This is the team I've been running. This is kind of, well, I haven't actually tested it out yet. But this is a team that I've heard to test out is kind of like Keqing Hyper Carry. This is not Dendro focused team at all, as you can see. But we're gonna give it a shot just so we can kind of look at some damage numbers right now. We're not gonna start out with the boss fight or anything. I'm just start out with like a Ruin Guard so you guys can kind of get a baseline of what damage we're doing with just her being buffed off of everything. Now Raiden is just here to buff Electro. You know, Kazuha here for elemental damage bonus, Zhongli just shielding. Like, you don't, it's pretty straightforward. Like, I think this is a pretty basic pretty straightforward, pretty basic hyper carry team. So we swirl and then we go here. Alrighty, let's see. You guys can, I mean, that was pretty quick. Like I just kind of wanted to test some damage numbers. I think that would have taken way too long on Masanori. So, I mean, overall, pretty good so far. Now, here's what I really want to do. You guys can see, like, I see some 13Ks, kind of mixed a couple numbers there with the charge attack. I know that's one of our main damaging sources. We cannot test this team with Bennett because I have C6 Bennett, and that would just override Pyro Keqing. I feel like different teams and stuff, that'd be a fun video for later. I turned the brightness down a little bit on my monitor. I don't know, I feel like it's giving me this weird hue. I'll look at it more later. It's late, and I have to be up for a couple hours. So we'll worry about that later. But here's a team I did want to try as well. So Keqing, and then I wanted to do, let's try the Sino team. I do want to give that a shot. Okay. We'll go. So this is like the hyper carry type team I've been running for Sino, and it normally works out really well with him. Like, I think that Furina's definitely buffed up the numbers. I mean, obviously any character's gonna be buffed up with Furina. So let's go ahead, and then, who was the last? Oh yeah, it was Nahida. Okay, this will be a Furina team, and then after this we'll try not a Furina team if you're kind of curious potential and you don't have Furina. My Furina is currently C2. You guys, just quick rundown. 74, 168. Could use a bit more HP, but it's not the end of the world. Of course, this set, C2, 1810. Okay, now we're gonna go fight Masanori. I know a lot of content creators like to show off characters in the Abyss, but it's there's too much variation in my opinion. I don't know. I don't fight the Abyss that often anyways. But I'm not a fan of the whole you get random buffs, and sometimes the characters are going to look really good, like on Nuvalet's release when everyone was just soloing. Don't get me wrong, Nuvalet still looks really good, but his numbers were slightly inflated just due to the Abyss. Okay, let's give this a shot. Let's get my... that's fine. It's good to be playing this game right now because I haven't made a video on this in a couple videos. Okay. Oh, there you go. Look at those numbers. Let's do some normal attacks too. Yeah, the charge attacks are definitely better, but we're gonna ult here. And then now we kind of lost all our damage buffs, but I mean, not terrible for like a starting like character released in 1.0. That was pretty cool. I mean, died quick enough to not get these bursts back. Alright, let's get out of here, and then we're gonna try this without Furina. I mean, a good alternative here too would be Yulan. Don't have that, and like I'm saying, my Xingqiu's not too well built, and I don't want that to like negatively sway your minds. I only like showing characters that I have at least somewhat built. Just some. Okay. Oh wow, Furina definitely does a lot of heavy lifting there. That's part of why I don't. Oh, I think I went to the wrong one. That's part of why I don't like relying on her in like every damage showcase. Obviously, she's gonna make your character do more damage. That's her whole thing, you know. So I'm gonna try this. We can try this with Fischl. I mean, I don't know. I don't think Keqing actually needs that energy. Here. Oh, we'll try this. I've heard this works well, but don't quote me on this. I've never tried this. Okay, Sara. No. Right here, same thing. My Sara, like level 70 weapon. Have I always not had artifacts on Sara? I've played her a good amount. Oh, never mind. Friendship 1. I guess I haven't played her that much. Okay, let's see if I have any noblesse things to throw on her. I don't really use her ult that much anyways. I know people use Emblem, but I've kind of been using her without Bennett. Here you go. Let's see if we can just complete this set real quick. Like, this doesn't really matter. Do I have any? Here's some ER. Let's see, crit damage, attack, HP. We'll do this, sure. Like, there you go. Nah, she had that from the beginning. Okay, so here's her talents. 10. I know that the E level scales more off base attack. Let's see. 429. I mean, I could just give her one of these, but I don't know. I'm gonna just keep it like what I normally run her with. This is how I've played Raiden, with just this Sara. And I mean, it's worked perfectly fine. You can definitely tell a noticeable damage buff with Raiden. So, oh yeah, last thing I forgot to mention. C6 Sara just increased crit damage a whole bunch. So, that's really what we're here to see. So we're gonna buff up some EM and use Nahida. Now this is not gonna be carried by Furina right here, so let's give this a shot. So you see some pretty respectable numbers there, that's... Okay, and then like her thing runs out, her infusion. You can kind of just recycle through. Especially just ramp up our crit. Like, we're getting everything pretty quick. Oh, damn. I meant to do that, you know? I forgot to reapply Blazy stuff. But, that went pretty well. I mean, people used to kind of bash on Keqing for being mid, same thing with Diluc. I have both of them built somewhat decently. I mean, overall I'm pretty satisfied with that. Now for the final test. Here, we're gonna go put some of my Sino artifacts on her. Now, good thing this is recorded, because I don't like switching artifacts off of characters, really. But we're gonna try 4-piece Thundering Fury. Let's see. Okay. 20. But here's the other thing, is that Sino's carried heavily by his signature weapon. Which means that I think we can probably... Am I running a crit rate? Yeah. I have a crit rate on another piece. Okay, yeah, let's just switch over Sino's pieces, whatever we do have, and see how it goes. Do I not even have a 4-piece set? Okay, what is this? I have 1, 2, 3. Damn, I think we'll... How's that looking? Yeah, crit rate's a little low. Yeah, because we don't have a crit rate weapon that's... I mean, I could just go to the 4-star crit rate weapon. But I don't really want to... Oh, I actually have this one. This isn't her best one, but I think this is pretty solid. Look at that. Solid ratio. Problem solved. Pay to win. Okay, let's get our burst back real quick for Baiju, because we used it like right at the end of the last rotation. Okay, we're not doing a bunch of attacks. Okay, here we go. Now here's one thing. We are going to lose some damage, I believe, with Jade Cutter, because I don't think it... I could be wrong about that. I don't believe that Jade Cutter has as high of a damage ceiling as Miss Splitter for Keqing. I mean, look at it. It looks made for her. You know, purple sword on the purple girl. That's how you do this game. Okay, we're going to give this a shot now. So Nahida here is giving us EM buff and pretty solid Dendro application. Now let's see. Oh, those numbers. That looks good. Those numbers are kind of low with that. Oh, didn't mean to switch to Nahida. Okay, we'll reset all this. I mean, like, I'm not blown away by Keqing. You do have to remember, too, this is a C6 character. And I'm like, she's fine, you know? I'm not... Oh, doesn't target him. Like, okay, she's fine as a C6 character. I could be playing her completely wrong. Let me look if there's any other teams we can try her in. Let's go back here. I mean, like, I don't expect too much because you hear about Keqing and you hear she's kind of mid. Okay. She did pass my expectations a little bit. I just don't think that, like, the ratio here is, like, justified for the damage. Let's switch all this back. Well, we'll give her regular sets, and then we will... Oh gosh, I don't even... Should have thought about that. Oh wait, Sino has the pieces, right? Okay, we'll just find Sino. Yeah. So, like I was saying before, I don't think the damage is bad. I just think that it could be better for a C6 character. But, like, to be fair, for a free character that you're kind of just going to get anyways as you're going. Okay, let's find Sino. Because I kind of want to test this back with her regular pieces. Like, I don't want to go out of my way and farm a whole new set for her. I don't think I took this from her, did I? 28.8 and ER. Okay. Yeah, I didn't take that from Sino. I could have tried it with EM anyways. Okay, well, you know that... There you go. They were slightly low EM, but we also had Nahida, like, 200 buff. 200 EM buff. Let's go back. I feel like my goblet that I have on here is kind of mid as well. Okay, and then I kept on... No, I switched over Sino on this too. Okay, let's make sure. Does something seem a little low? Let's look at Sino. 82, 233. Okay, that looks right. That looks right. That looks right. That's right. I feel like something's a little off. Okay, it's whatever. I mean, it's close enough. Like, did I or did I not have more crit rate? It's whatever. EM attack percent. Crit damage. Oh. I don't know if I switched this over. Let me check this. 61, 228. 79, 241. Okay, there you go. That's more like it. Yeah, that's what I was used to. Okay. So everything seems pretty good now. Let's look if there's any other characters that would run good with Keqing. Like Zhongli, obviously. Furina, obviously. Kazuha. Raiden seems pretty good as a battery, but I don't think she's that necessary. Like, she's kind of just like if you want to do a hyper carry overworld type team, which is what I've seen with my opinion. Bennett before C6, yeah, but the exclamation point is not worth a slight buff to Keqing. Like, Kujosara gives an attack buff, that's good enough. Deha, I guess, but like, don't recommend it. Like, Albedo mid for this. Same thing. Yamiko, same thing as Raiden. Yunjin for a normal attack team. Sucrose, same thing as Kazuha. Sucrose mains don't come for me for saying that. Let's see, Shinobu. Maybe Beidou. I mean, that's pretty much all I can really see as the main teams. So I think, let's see, let's try this with Kazuha instead of Sara. This will be the last test, and I'll let you guys go. Okay, so this is going to give us a big EM buff. Let's get Baizu's burst, just to be sure. Okay, I think this team's actually going to go pretty well. This might be... This might be one of the better built teams, actually, now that I think about it. Good. Okay. Now you guys get ready to see some C6 worthy damage right here. I mean, like, okay, here's some thoughts so far. If you like Keqing player, but I mean, I feel like at C0 she would have been lacking. But let me show you the constellations really quickly before this last run, just in case you were curious. Okay, so when you use her E, 50% of her attack as AoE electro damage is just done to them. Normal and charge attack hits opponents. Normal and charge attack hit opponents affected by electro. That's just fixes her ER. So 3 and 5 just skill and burst levels. 10 seconds after electro reaction, attack increased by 25%. Okay, so when you do a normal charge attack, charge attack, skill or burst, you get 6% electro damage bonus for 8 seconds. Effects triggered. Okay, so each of these can be triggered separately, which like sounds like you get 4 separate stacks if you're using all her normal charge, skill, and burst, which 6% each, so 6 times 4, that's 24. So 24% electro damage bonus. It seems like. I mean, I could have read that wrong. It's late. I'm tired, but that's what it seems like. I don't think any of these constellations are crazy. I feel like it's probably like Diluc, where each constellation's like 5-10% increase in damage. But we'll see. Okay, so both Nahida and Kazuha are gonna buff him. Because I have C2 Kazuha. We'll do this. Okay, you go. Ah. Saw some pretty good numbers for a second there. Damn, this team's almost like too quick swappy. By the time you set everything up, and I guess that's why Kujo Star is pretty good for this. Oh, you gotta use Bazu more often. Yeah, okay, never mind. This is not her best. I almost said it. This is not her best team. To be with you guys. Damn, that thing doesn't sound like Electro. Okay, here, we'll just go use all the first taking too long. This is the longest I've been in a match in a kind of way. Okay, well, I mean, to be fair, it's just... I'm trying to rely too much on Keqing here. She's clearly more of a team dejector. Seems like Kujo Star is actually better for this, because Nahida gives a good amount of EM already. You don't really need the 200 from Nahida and then an additional like 200, 250 from Kazuha. So it looks like Kujo Star was better here with the crit damage, electro damage buff. Especially because she's C6 Kujo Star. Here, let's give some closing thoughts on this character. She's fine. I mean, she's honestly about what I expected. It's pretty cool though. C6 characters are always fun to have. I think she looks pretty good. She's a cool, well-designed character in my opinion. Cool sword. There's my opinion on the character. Overall, I think if you want to play Keqing. You can make it work. You guys saw some pretty good damage numbers. You can pull certain characters to make her work. Like if she's your favorite character and you really want to play her as a hyper carry, go for it, man. No one's gonna stop you. It's not like unplayable or anything. You guys just saw. She can do some decent numbers. I mean, like maybe for a normal account that's decent, like someone that doesn't play super often, like the average player's account, I would say. But if you're on this random niche video in the middle of the internet, you probably aren't a super niche player. But yeah, Keqing has some potential, I guess. Like, remember guys, this isn't completely max investment. This is a level 80 weapon, and the artifacts are all level 20, but they're not like her best set or anything. Her talents aren't maxed out. You could get a little bit more out of her. I feel like this is at least like 80% of the way there of what you could get with this. It's definitely, like, I would never recommend it to someone on who to build. Sino definitely does a lot more damage, especially now with Furina. Sino is kind of crazy. Like, wow, he's always been pretty solid, but Furina definitely amped him up. I think on release, Keqing did more than him, just because better options and everything with Dendro. But now that all these characters have released to help Sino out, at least from what I've tested, my Sino is also pretty crazy. My Keqing's kind of mid. But then again, like a C2 to a C6. A C6 Keqing should be doing more than like a C2 Sino. I mean, she is standard though. That's another thing you have to remember. Like, she's a character you kind of get just like as time passes, so you can't be expecting her. They're not gonna make a standard character completely broken. I mean, they could, but they probably won't, because that's, you know, they're kind of greedy most of the time. Star Rail's a little bit different, but Star Rail also has more competition as a game. That's something we can talk about on a different day. But just in terms of her power level, she's fine. Keqing mains don't come for me. I think she was cool. Will I play her sometimes? Yeah, of course, like especially through dailies and stuff. I think she's a really fun character to play. She has some such flashy animations. Like, look at that. That's so sick. And then, like, and then her ult and everything. She's such a cool looking character. Do I think that I'm gonna main her or anything? No. Like I'm saying, if you play Keqing, it's not something to bash on. She's fine. Play her if you want to play her. I definitely do think she's kind of like Sino, where she's expensive team-wise if you really want to get the best out of her. But that's a common complaint people have with characters. Honestly, a lot of characters are like that in this game. Like, there's only a couple characters in this game where the team doesn't matter that much. And I mean, they're definitely outliers. Like, most of the characters, if you want them to perform well, you're gonna need their best team and their best weapons and artifacts, and you're gonna have to invest a lot into them and their talents all the way up. And it's just, I think people forget about that often when they say some characters are expensive, just when they have to build other characters. Like, say you already have all the characters for an Alhaitham team, and you're like, oh, this is perfect, and then you want to go and try to build like Ryalthusli, and you don't have the characters built for that team, and then you're like, oh, Ryalthusli is expensive because look at all these characters I have to build for him. No, just because you didn't happen to have them, like, doesn't mean it's expensive. If you want Ryo to do the most damage, I think Ryo's damage is actually, people weren't thinking it was that great on release. In my personal opinion, he's kind of crazy, but mine's C2 again, and I kind of invested a lot into him. Yeah, I play him all the time, so yeah, I'm getting distracted. I'm just I like talking about that character. You couldn't tell. But yeah, so this ending kind of dragged on here, but Keqing's fun. Like I'm saying, I have some friends that really like this character. Just they have since the beginning. There was like this thing where if you did, for the uninitiated, those of you that don't know, at the very start of this game they had some down period where they couldn't put one of the banners for some reason. I think it was with Hutao and Chinese New Year or something like that. I don't remember. I haven't heard it in a long time. But there was a Keqing banner at the very start of the game. That's the only standard banner character that of the original 5 that's had a limited banner. And yeah, some of them pulled on that banner just because they really like Keqing as a character. Like, I mean, at the time I was kind of like, I don't think that's the smartest idea because you're gonna get her eventually. But that's the same reason I didn't pull for Deha. Now I have Deha. Like, but you can't guarantee anything. It took me like 2.5 years to get to Luke. Yeah, this is just me rambling at the end here because there's not much else to say about her. But yeah, I'm not gonna waste any more of your guys' time. Like, comment, subscribe if you did enjoy. I do appreciate all the support on this. Yeah, I do plan on keep making Star Rail videos, at least for the time being. But it's definitely not gonna be like my main content source or anything. I'm not gonna switch over completely. Star Rail's fun. It's definitely not something to switch over completely to. It's a completely different game than Genshin. I like this game more just because the feel you have with the characters. Like, running around like this, you can't really do this in Star Rail. Like, it's... There, you see? Look at... Look at this. We get a jump button. Genshin may not give us free 5 stars that are good, but we do have a jump button if we have nothing else. I get... But yeah, I hope you guys all have a great night, great day, and I'll see you all later. Bye.